Hello, everyone. My name is Edward S. Redcar, and I'm the host of Edward S. Redcar's Entertainer Chat. And today I have double the pleasure of talking with both John Vamvas and Olga Montes, actors, filmmakers, among all other different things, very talented two individual performers. And so welcome to my show, John and Olga, and how are you both doing today?
Thank you. Thank you. Hello, everybody out there. Well, we just got back from
Pittsburgh.
Barcelona, back to Montreal, drove to Toronto, did a festival in Toronto, drove to Pittsburgh, did a festival there, and we just got back. We've been
Yesterday at 6:30 a.m.
We've been gone for 30 days, but we are doing great.
Yes.
Good. Well, yeah. I mean, you both of you look like you're doing great, and you're ready for anything on this interview. And I know I was messaging you both just the other day. You were back on your way to Pittsburgh and all other points, Niagara Falls and this and that, and so yeah, it's like you've just been knocking it out of the park with all your films and being nominated and getting best film and best actor, best actress along the way. So yeah, it's a pleasure to have you on my show, both on my show.
It's our pleasure.
Yeah, and I thank both of you for graciously accepting my invitation to be on the show. We're going to have a lot of fun. Everybody else has a lot of fun. I do. My guests do. Everybody out there in Zoom, YouTube, TV, or whatever land. So we always have a lot of fun. And what I usually like to do when I start off my shows, I sort of like to get an idea of my guests, the performers, whether they're actors, actresses, directors, producers, writers, dancers, whatever, to sort of get like a whole picture, of who they are, to get them know better, to get to know them better, and so everybody out there knows you better. So I'll pose this first question to both of you, and just jump in. Whoever wants to answer first, have at it. I always tell everybody this is just like a conversation between good friends at a restaurant, sitting at a table, having a cup of coffee, tea, or whatever potion is your favorite. And so I'll pose the question to each of you. How did each of you become interested in acting and then filmmaking?
Go ahead.
Well, for me, it was ever since I was a little kid. I was extremely shy. If anybody spoke to me, I would turn red and start crying sometimes. But then I discovered stand-up comedy that I would do for my sister. I think I was like 9 or 10 years old. And then I auditioned for a play. They were renting our theater in my high school. We had a beautiful theater, and a company rented it. And then they held auditions, and then I got the lead. It was 10 Little Indians by Agatha Christie. And then I discovered that Olga could leave and whoever could come in and use my body or use Olga's body to do what they had to do. And she was brave or this or that and outgoing, and I wasn't shy anymore. And so it was so much fun to take Olga out and to let whoever needed a body to speak do their thing.
Right.
And so when it came time to go to university or college, I'm fluent in languages, and so I just naturally thought that I would be an interpreter or a translator. And then there was a theater program, and I said, well, I'll try because it's 600 people and they only accept 20. I'll never get in. But I got in. And so then I got into the languages programs too, and the other colleges. And then I asked my dad, I'm like, what do I do? He's like, you're young, go have fun. And so that's what happened.
Right. Yeah, isn't it I don't know if this is the right term for it, like strange or funny that like those of us that are like in the entertainment industry performers, it's like I don't know if all of us were, but like some of us, like you were just saying that you were like shy when you were a kid. I was the same way. It's sort of the same way. Like when you're growing up, it's like being so shy, you didn't even say boo, like that. You didn't even say boo. And yeah, I can remember like early on in like grade school days, small grade school days, you know, you'd have to do like the book report or show and tell, get up in front of the class. And
Yes.
it's like in those days before I knew that this was my destiny, it's like I would always feel like my upper lip starting to twinge. I don't know if you had, you know, because, you know, nervous, all the kids are looking at you and, oh my God,
Yeah.
I got to do a good job. And so like the more you're aware of it, the more nervous you get and the more
Yeah.
your upper lip quivers. So yeah. I
Mine only quivers when I get to kiss her. You know, for myself, I was an outgoing kid. I was one of four brothers, one of five children with my sister, and my dad would bring in some, you know, some members of the family. They'd be Greek, and I'd be the first one to greet him with proper Greek, you know, whatever I learned. Tikanu Ted. I was outgoing, and I was always the kid that wanted to be funny. I'd be funny in class, getting a lot of trouble for it, but I never planned to be an actor. So, like in my mid-20s, I think I used to party a lot. I would sleep in the morning. I'd leave my TV on, and I had first choice. I can't remember what paying channel we had, and it kept on playing a film with called A Streetcar Named Desire with Marlon Brando, who I didn't think he wasn't at the time. And he'd always be like, "Oh, so you're Stella's sister? Where's the little Stella?" And I'd say, "Who's this guy? He's so annoying." And then I decided to sit down and watch the whole film, and I realized that it was The Godfather, from The Godfather. And
okay.
like I'm a lot of time confused. I was trying to mimic him, and then I started watching all his films, and I fell in love with his style. So I took a few courses. I ended up with this wonderful acting teacher that was the understudy of Anne Bancroft.
Very good.
She was doing The Miracle Worker. Her name was Carol Shammy.
Yeah.
I learned my basics from her. I went on. I got myself this incredible improv teacher named David Arkin from LA that taught me how to improvise, and I think that's where my creativity came out. He told me from nothing you can make anything. Focus on one thing and just let it grow. And then we met after we were doing a play. I was directing, producing, starring in a play called A Hatful of Rain. Hired her as Celia, didn't want her, and would ask me, my producers, my partners, why don't you want her? I said, I'm going to fall in love with her. But she's the best. And then we end up taking her because I asked her a question. If you don't get the role and we give you the understudy, are you in? She goes, no, all or nothing. And I said, I want her. She's like me. And from there, we got together. We started doing plays, and we ran into a man named William Massa Simone. He's a famous playwright from the States. Also, he's a screenwriter.
So we've been together a long time.
We did his play called The Wool Gatherer, and we connected with him. He called us back, which was couldn't believe he did. And we were asking for another play, and he was telling me a few. I said, no, I don't like him. And he goes, well, write your own. And I said, sir, I don't know how to write. He goes, don't ever tell me you can't do something.
Ooh.
And that's when we started. And I sat down. We started writing our first script, which was called Cocaine Eyes. And that script played. And
in 1994. And
from there, it brought us all the way to Scarpa de Tremente and to another script that we'll talk about later called Werewolves.
Yeah.
So I had a mouthful to tell you.
You're talking about the improvisation, and it's like it's like that's invaluable, because I remember years and years ago when I was first coming up, my acting, I got through, theater training, local community theater, summer stock theater, and so this one local community theater here in my area, they offered like improv classes like once a week, and it was maybe for, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 hours, like every Saturday morning. And the first thing that the director did, he was also the director of the community theater, so he also had these free improv workshop. So he gathered us in there, and so he sort of like split us up into groups. And so he'd get to your group, he might have split it up into maybe 3 or 4 people in a group. So he might say, okay, now you 4 are next. Okay, sit on the floor. He says, you 4 are deserted or are marooned on a desert island. Go. That's all he gave you. You had to take that idea, run with it, use your imagination and this and that. And I can't say enough for improv training. It's like
That's what it does. It teaches you to be spontaneous. And as theater actors, no matter what happens, if a line is missed or anything, boom, you're there, you're awake. It's I think it's one of the most important things that students. I never went to school. I either found or they found me.
Yeah, me either. Yeah.
Certain teachers. I was lucky. Me, it's more the way I grew up. I grew up street, and I started learning. And I like watching people and learning from them. And then when I joined with Olga, and Olga just academically, she was incredible, which I didn't have. I barely knew how to read. On the first play we're doing together, she goes, "Oh, you read so well." I said, "I'm not reading. I just know it by heart because I'm embarrassed if people see that I would read slowly and then I'd get it right away." So then
Okay.
I learned with her. I learned diction. I used to talk about 100 miles an hour. I used to be so fast. Calm down, she would tell me. She taught me diction, and I use that little techniques to get into
Right,
being a
right. So Olga, do you have like a lot of improv training as well?
I guess I did a 3-year theater program, and there was improv and like all of that. Like, we always had improv classes, improv, and like in not just acting, but in movement and in dance and like in a lot of things. Like they would just make us like we would also be part of like the police tech. We would do like situations for them, like the kids that were training to be cops, because there was a police tech at the college,
academy.
also the academy. And so they would like
Same school, John Adams.
at John Abbott College in Montreal and in Canada. And so they would just like tell us like in our ear, the teachers, okay, you're a couple and you're in a domestic dispute. And so the cops would like knock and they had no idea what they were walking into. And so we would just have to improvise like whatever and like come up with crazy situations that the cops wouldn't know how. These kids like that were training to be cops had to like learn how to like what to do and how to do it. And sometimes
Okay.
to be violent or whatever, just and they didn't know what we were going to do. And to me, that was so much fun to do that.
Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah. I can vouch for that too, like on stage, because I remember a very long time ago, I forget what play it was, but we were all standing on stage, and it was like in my younger years, like in the lower grades, and I'll always remember this, that there came a point in the play where it's like everything like just stopped, and we were all looking at each other, and so the person that had the next line didn't know what to say, forgot about the line. And so, it's like we were all standing on stage there, being like younger kids. It's like, oh my God, it's like, what are we going to do now? The audience, they're all looking at us, expecting us to, perform here. And so finally somebody came out with a line, but it happened to be a line that was like 3 pages ahead of the script. It was the correct line, but it was like in the future. And so, like sometimes when you look at a script, you can almost see it in your mind. You can see the pages and the page numbers. So it's like I'm standing there and it's like, okay, they were on page 5. Now we're 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, or however. And so in my mind, I finally found where they were in the script. And so it's like I said my next line to keep things going like that. But in the moment, it was like terrifying. But then when I thought about it afterward, it's like, wow, it's like, what a rush, right?
yeah, it is a rush.
Yeah, it's really not terrifying, especially if it's your own scripts or your own plays.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
The audience don't know what you're going to say, and it's being an actor is a confidence game. If you're confident, sure, mistakes could happen. You can bring it back. We've had situations on stage, forgotten, too hot, ready to pass out because the air conditioner was working.
Yeah.
You'd go blank or I go blank, and one will bring the other. But we have a connection.
Right.
By myself. I've worked with some incredible actors in Montreal, but the day I met her, I met my magic. From one eye to the eye, from my right eye to her right eye.
Right.
And if something's going on, we pick it up. I don't know what it is. It's magical, and I'll keep it. Yeah. We're together 31 years now. We're married 25, 6. We're living with each other. We got married 25 years ago in August 18th. And we work better off each other. I mean, individually.
Yeah. But it was from the first moment, like before we were dating or anything. As soon as we started working together, it was like we could read each other's mind to say, like, pick it up or take it this way. Like we didn't even have to say anything. It was like we knew.
And we're very like very comfortable with each other, as you saw in Scarpa di Cemento.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
To live where a lot of people are saying, "What?" and they find it very sensual, and to us, it's just our everyday talk. We always talk this close,
Right.
and it engages the audience. I think, I see them get involved. So I'm lucky,
I'm lucky.
she's
That's
lucky.
well, you're
have each other.
you're both lucky. Yeah. Yeah.
Not that we have it with other actors. I've had it with other actors too. I've worked with some great guys and other girls, but not the way we work. So we're pretty
Right.
lucky.
Right.
Work
And
with
that
teams.
and that and that comes it I mean that comes across so well on the screen, like you're talking about Scarpetta Cemente there, and yeah, it's like you can tell like the electricity going back and forth like that. It's like
And there's no
totally
acting. It's not a lie. There's no acting. There's no
no,
memory.
no,
It
yeah,
just all comes out. There's a scene that I had to shoot in the opening, and like, where do I look? It had to be straight to the camera. Where do I look? So, my cinematographer Renee, he tells me, "Well, look at the little Yoda he had. He had a little Yoda. Look at that and deliver your lines." And I was just running in my head, looking at it. It's like a 3-minute monologue, and I'm looking. I said, "No, no, it doesn't work. He's a narcissist. Let him find himself in the lens." And I think that's the only part of the film I felt like it wasn't real, because I had to look at something technical, because the rest was Olga and myself, like, I'm always looking at her. It never felt like acting. It felt like the characters are going. And
right. And that's when it's most real, when it doesn't feel like acting, when it feels like real life and you forget about that there's a script or there's stage
magical. It's
direction.
euphoric.
Yeah.
It's euphoric.
It's euphoric.
There's nothing
It is.
higher. I couldn't win a lotto ticket to make me feel as incredible as I felt the 10 days we were shooting the film in the hotel. It was euphoric. I was calm. I was enjoying it. A lot of things were going on, but I let them pass, because I said this could be my only magic moment in my life. I don't know if I'll get to do another film one day. You never know what's going to happen. So I was enjoying it.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, that's the important thing, to enjoy. And yeah, you're talking about your film Scarpetta Cemente, and like I've said, you've had a lot of success winning awards at film festivals for that film, and in particular, best actor, best actress awards, and best feature film. First at the
At the Yes.
yeah,
We have to say the Yes. We have to plug Yes. Not the Yes. Sorry, Skip Town. Yes,
Skip Town. Oh yeah, that's right.
Skip
That's
Town.
where.
Yeah, in East Hollywood.
In East Hollywood, Vincenzo Carubia, he's the festival director, and we were so lucky. He awarded us with 7 awards.
Yeah.
We're
It's like,
stunned.
yeah. Well, I mean, deservedly so. I mean, your the film and your performances. I mean, they were right up there. So I mean, you deserved all the awards that came to you. So yeah, it was just.
But it's still shocking. Like now, like this is it. Scarpa di Cemento. We're at with 115 awards, with the one that we won in Pittsburgh a couple of days ago.
Every award you win,
it feels like the first one,
and I'm
shocked because it's our first film. We've never made a film before. We're theater people. We were going to take Scarpa di Cemento to off Broadway. Broadway shut down because of COVID, and so Johnny said, "Let's make a film." We didn't know anybody except for one person on the set. And so everybody that was hired was there based on their demos, and we didn't really know what we were doing, but we knew that we knew what we wanted. And so we knew where we wanted to go, and we had so much advice: cut out dialogue, get sex scenes, could change the ending.
We didn't listen to anybody.
And we said no, and then, I know, I have 35 years in the film industry. I know how festivals work. You need to do this and that. And so maybe it would work, but we knew that we wanted to do something different. And we didn't want to do something to be so that the festivals could like us, or so that this person can like us. We wanted to do something that we would like and that we would be proud of. And that's why it freaks me out every time we get an award. Every time somebody tells us I love the film, it's like, really? I'm so happy, because
that's the reward in itself.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's like like you're describing, if you're trying to make something to please someone else, or to try to get into somewhere, it's probably not going to work. But you're doing it just because you enjoy it so
Well, it's like
much.
Tarantino says,
Yeah.
make a movie you want to see. And this is what we did. And it doesn't matter what, if like he says also, if you don't like it, don't watch it. You
Right,
know,
right,
we made a movie that we liked. And I'm not saying it's the greatest film in the world. If somebody could have made it better, somebody could have made it better. But we made a movie we liked, and we're so proud of it. We're so proud of the people that helped us make it. I mean, it wasn't just us. It was,
Yeah.
our cinematographer was magical.
right,
He
right. Yeah.
brought in with his lighting girl, Claire,
Claire
and then
Naomi,
Naomi was the focus girl, and this girl was one of the hardest jobs. She had to keep the focus on me. And me, I'm 100 miles an hour. You know, you try to stop me, my energy level, and that was her hard job, but she managed it. I didn't see any blurs or anything.
Right. No,
Yeah.
no, there wasn't any um there wasn't any
Music,
blurs or blemishes.
we had,
our sound guys. We had two. We had a friend of hers, Albert Chambers, that he does music. He's got
a Juno Award.
he's got a studio here. He does music, and he goes, he saw our movie. He goes, no, I'll do it, and he did it practically for nothing. I mean, we want to pay him. No. He goes, I'll do it.
He's like, I love the
she's,
movie.
She's my friend.
Yeah.
From high school. I'm going to do this movie, and he had a lot of hard work. He had to split up 2 mics and the boom. And the boom. And
oh, and the boom.
Cleared it all up. We got it. We brought it to another level. We worked with Matt Sherman, and he did it in 5.1 stereo. He had the folio. He had it, and he gave us a nice sound. Then we had our music girl, Sandra Chechek,
a composer. She composed original music
from herself. And then our cinematographer came back and gave us days for free. We had no more money left. He went into the editing process with Matthew Morano, and they colorized the film, and they fixed it, and they did some offline stuff with the other guy. I forgot his name. Erwan. He was from France, and the editor JD. He just did an incredible job putting it together. Everything was shot in 1 or 2 takes.
Yeah,
we didn't shoot long.
And we shot it in 10 days. It was
10 days.
114
or 116 pages in 10 days.
Wow.
And they shot, the editor, he had 1 or 2 clips to work off of, but we didn't need. I mean, there was never a line forgotten, just technical stuff, lighting, which was very important. The sun moved, so we had to switch the camera. And, you know, if I went back, there's other shots I want to add, but this is what it is. You're not going to just one for the rest of your life.
Well, in doing anything, you can only do the best you can do at the moment with what you have and what you know. So I think we all do that. You know, we all have a tendency to say, gee, you know, if I had to do that over again, but it's like it only happens once. You know,
I want to also mention one guy, Pablo Vieja. He was our recordist there, and when we went there, and we talked fast, and this guy had to pick up, 2 mics. He had the sound going off from the bottom, the boom, and he had to pick up where I decided when I'm in this room, when we were doing readings, we're nice and clear. When I was in that room, I decided, and he had to catch it. And he would tell me, it's very low, but it's not your problem. It's my problem. I'll catch it. And at the end, when we finished with the 2 sound people, and Matt and Albert, he asked me, I sent him, he asked me, Pablo, he goes, how much ADR did you have to do? I said, just 1 line. The line that we didn't do on set, which is holy, a slow motion line. That's the only one. And he freaked out. He goes, wow. And I found that a little research. I found that like today's kids, a lot of the actors, because we are theater actors, we know how to project, and we know how to project with the whisper. So this is what they're telling us. So I have to go with that. I have to go because we're theater, we're clear, even though we're fast. So I just wanted to say that too, because there was a lot of little things. Our caterers, the food, we kept them happy with the food on set, which helped make the film.
Yeah, and we paid everyone except for ourselves.
I'm waiting.
That's the way it always is, right? It's like you pay your bills, and as long as you break even if you don't get paid, it's like a success anyway. As long as you don't lose.
I'm paid in my heart, Edward.
Right. Well, you know, with all that, I mean, with all of those things going for you, I mean, both of you, you're performing on the screen, and then everyone else that contributed to all the other areas of the screen or to the film. I mean, it's no wonder that it won so many awards, because I mean, you're really deserving of it because you had a lot of good people working on it behind the scenes and the two of you on cameras. So, you know, with all that going for you, it was a win-win situation. So, yeah, that's but of course, like you say,
just let me know how
Olga,
much. Just let me know how much I owe you for those beautiful words you just said.
oh,
And don't tell me I'm funny.
the invoice will be in the mail. The invoice will be in the mail, though. So, but yeah, no, that's what I was saying. No wonder. And yeah, I was going to say that you won awards for it at the Robinson Film Festival,
Oh yeah,
Italy.
Italy.
What was it, back in April? Was it with Jean-Luc? His
Jean-Luc Servino.
yeah, Servino.
What
Yeah.
a wonderful person. And
Oh
it was
yeah,
nice.
I met him at Skip Town last year for the very first time in person, and yeah, he's an absolutely awesome person to know and speak with,
It's
and
like
yeah,
Darwin.
But he's also such an excellent filmmaker
Oh yeah,
himself.
oh yeah.
Oh my
yes,
God.
He's
Yeah.
another great cinematographer.
yes, I know,
Magic.
notice posts of his Jean-Luc every once in a while, and it's like they're so crisp, and they tell they tell such a good story in like a short amount of time, even if it's like a little short film clip that he
Yeah.
posts. It's like you know exactly what he's trying to get across, either in a short film clip or even if he happens to post like a still, like like a photo.
Yeah.
You know what's going on with that,
Oh
and so yeah, I mean, you both
yeah.
won. Let's see, what it was it, Best Actor and Best Actress at
But you know the wonderful
And
thing
best
about
film.
it? The wonderful thing, we won Best International Film, we won Best Actress and Best Actor. And it was incredible. When we were taking pictures, somebody showed up and there was another award from the World Independent Film Festival, in which we had won Best Filmmakers, Best Actor, and Best Film, and Best International Film. And this lady came up to us and gave us a plaque. She was from another part of Italy that it was there. I didn't know where it was. I couldn't go everywhere, you know. And she gave us a plaque for Best of the Best 2022, 2023. And we're like, oh my God, it was incredible. And then there was a man staring at me, a distinguished gentleman with a beard, suit on, looked like a gangster, don't tell him. Anyways, so I asked Jean-Luc, I said, Jean-Luc, what's that? He goes, oh, that's the mayor from my town, in the next town.
Oh wow.
I go, what is he looking at me like that? What does he want? He goes, oh, he wants to take a selfie with you.
Wow.
It was the most beautiful thing to hear. So Naples was very special in our heart, very beautiful. And then we stuck around for another 12 days after it. And we just walked around, which is what's great about festival.
We visited the south of Italy, and so that was really nice.
Yes, we visited Pompeii,
Oh wow, wow.
When we hiked Vesuvius.
Festivals were bringing us all over the world. It was very beautiful, and it was very. And some of the most beautiful people I ever met were in Naples. The Naples people are just incredible. They speak with like they sing like the canary birds, beautiful voices.
Yeah.
Very, very.
And also the best coffee I've ever had in my life.
Right. Oh yeah, I was gonna say
the espresso is made with the water that's coming from Mount Vesuvius, and so it's apparently the tastiest and cleanest water in all of the earth.
Okay.
And it just makes the best coffee you've ever had. Yeah. But like we were in Italy for 12 days. We came home for a few days. We went to Oklahoma.
He's gonna talk about.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, you know about Oklahoma also, right?
We were in Oklahoma and then from Oklahoma, we came back home for a couple of days, and then we were in New York City. And it was so time warpy and
so different.
So different.
Right.
Like, cultures, like we're going from Italy where everything is squished together and all the cars are small to Oklahoma where everything is spaced out, and then going to New York City where everything is just it was like really wild to do that.
Yeah. Well, yeah. It's like you're going from one end of the world where things are done a certain way, and you're coming back to the other side of the world where things are done a certain way, and so it's almost like a culture clash, right? It's like you don't know which way to go. You've been here where things are slower. You've been where things are faster. It's like, oh my God, how do I act now? Do I act slower where I came from, faster where I'm going?
Oh, I just remain who I am.
But
I'm transparent of who I am. Always. People.
And the underlying the connection between all of them is that I guess we were around a lot of artists and filmmakers, and everybody was just so happy and giving and kind and respectful.
Artists are just
Oh, they are. They are.
Films.
Oh,
Yeah.
we see practically every film we can. And we're there from night to day. You could ask Vince
From day to night.
from Skip, yeah, day to night, from Skip Town. We were there 10 o'clock in the morning all the way to 10 o'clock at night trying to watch everybody's films.
Because it's important to support other filmmakers.
Oh, it
and
is. It
a
is.
lot of times at these festivals, it's only other filmmakers or friends, and so
Well, they're incredible films.
and
They
so like
are.
we're lucky to be able to see. I saw some of the best movies I've ever seen in my life at these
Mhm.
festivals,
Mhm,
and I think we've
mhm.
seen like probably over 1,000 films
Well,
like in this
we
last
saw
year.
in one festival here in Canada before we left for Barcelona. It was a Montreal festival, one of the best festivals I see because they support Montrealers. And we saw 52 shorts in one day. Some were
Wow.
2 minutes, some were longer, and there was one feature. We saw them all. We're so proud to see them, and they were fantastic.
Yeah.
You know, and
Oh,
then
yeah.
we saw a movie that I'm not going to mention the movie because I don't want to slap anybody.
Yeah.
We saw a movie that came from Hollywood, and we're sitting
Oh.
there.
I'm going to have to interrupt the both of you for a
Yes.
minute. I lost your video. I can hear you, but I can't see you.
At what point
Oh.
was it?
Just now.
Hello?
Okay, you're back on right now. Okay.
There we go.
Okay. See,
Sorry, she slapped me, so I didn't want to show it.
oh, see, this is what I'm talking about. Anything can happen here, so we just go with the flow. So keep going on talking what you were talking about. Go
we're,
ahead.
we're talking about the
Oh,
seeing,
yeah, that we-
seeing a Hollywood film on a big screen, and it wasn't that I was disappointed. It's just that it's the independent, especially short films. They're just I find doing a show, shooting a short film much harder than a feature because you have so much to say, but 20 minutes, 12 minutes, 7 minutes, some
Mhm.
stuff 2 minutes. And one girl did one in Robinson, the Greek girl. It just was a 2 minute.
Like no, like a 1 minute. It was a micro short. It was
That was
called.
just brilliant. And I'm just
Wow.
saying, her name is Julia, and it was just brilliant. So it just shows you the different talents. You might
Yeah.
that 1 minute could have taken her maybe 9 months to do.
Right.
It was crafty. And then Scarpicciamente, we had the idea in our head. We sat down, we wrote it in 3 nights, three sit downs.
And you said it was what, 100? You said it was what, 110 pages?
114 or 116, I can't
Sure.
remember. Yeah, and we sat down, and then there's other. We wrote a monologue once, which took me 100 hours. So it all depends what
Right,
roles.
right, right.
Scarpicciamente was more, like we're so familiar with the
But,
characters.
Also at the independent film festivals, like we've seen a lot of films that surprised us, that thought outside the box, that didn't go by industry standards, by this and this and this happens. Like they had original stories and took me places I didn't expect. Whereas for the Hollywood films, at least that we've seen recently, like I know Everland's coming up, every situation is going to happen. I go to a horror movie and I sit there going, okay, now this and this is going to happen. And so
But with the independent filmmakers, maybe because they don't have big budgets,
That could be.
they don't regurgitate. Because I find a lot of films here in Canada and in the States, it's a regurgitation from one film to the other film. I want to see something a little bit different, like everybody thinks in a box. That's the last thing we do. It's like
Right.
sign
Yeah.
box. My signature is all over the place.
Yeah.
I will
Yeah.
think in a box.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
Well,
not there.
yeah. Thinking inside the box, it's like that's where to me that's where creativity ends. If you're always going to think inside a box with limits, you never give your imagination to
It's safe,
explore, right?
It's safe, and in a lot of business, all that you should. But when it comes to artists, ourselves, I don't want to knock anybody, but ourselves, I can't think in a box. If I've seen it before, I want to do it different. Like in werewolves, we have werewolves. We're not going to do the transformation of the werewolf because I saw an American Werewolf in London. I don't think it could ever be done better. So I'm going to do something else.
Right.
You have to come up with something different. Why try to copy? I remember in Robert Downey Jr. in Less Than Zero, he's a coke addict, and there's a scene where he's just coming down. He's trying to get off the drug, and I was in a play called Cocaine Eyes. I deleted that scene because I saw it so well, so done. I wouldn't touch it. You can't. I don't think I didn't think I could do it better. So I did something. I showed a high scene, which was easier for me, than coming down. And it was already done. Why? So that's what I'm saying about doing something that's already been done and you can't do it better.
Oh, right. Yeah, because you can't let your creativity create if you're sort of limiting yourselves. You're like limiting yourself to what you already know and have seen on the screen. You're trying to replicate it, and like you said, there's no way that you can make it as good as that. You can try to make it different,
Different.
which might end up being better. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Every story is the same.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh,
from
yeah.
thousands of years, all the stories have been
Yeah.
done. It's just how you, like Tarantino, he always takes something and just makes it different.
Different, yeah.
Different. Or you get a guy like Francis Ford Coppola and
Mm.
doing Apocalypse Now. As
Oh,
soon as
yes.
Martin Sheen gets on that boat, he brought you on that boat. You feel like you're there. The bullets are flying off you. It's really magical. It's really magical for somebody to be able to do that. And he captures you, just brings you in.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And, well, somebody else could have done it different. It could have been, but this was magic. That's one of
Yeah.
the best, and also The Godfather.
Yeah, yeah. Like you were both just talking about Jean-Luc's Robinson Film Festival. You got Best Actor, Best Actress, Best Feature Film, and then also you got Best Actor and Best Actress at the what was it, at the New York True Venture
True Venture.
True
Film
Venture
Venture
Film Festival. What was it, this past May, wasn't it? This
Yeah,
past May?
that was what was
Julian Biba.
and Ilana,
Ilana.
his wife Ilana, two wonderful people.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but here too we saw amazing films at this
At
festival.
this festival, some documentaries
One
that shocked us.
James Ivory. There was a short James Ivory from Merchant Ivory, and it's a kid that knocks on his door and he's like, Mr. Ivory, Mr. Yeah, Merchant Ivory Productions.
Oh,
and it was James Ivory, the director.
The director.
And he knocks on his door, Mr. Ivory, like I'm a big fan and I have a short film. And it was like a little film done of this kid that's just bugging the hell out of James Ivory. And James Ivory's just trying to be so kind and giving to him, but his movie is like really bad, the kid's movie. And it was so good. And
we got that, a few documentaries,
Yeah.
a few other films. We saw some great, and it was one that the production value. People winged it. They got bored.
Well,
Here, they're very
Yeah.
smart.
yeah.
But that was
So,
another good festival. But that was the last one we went before we hit
Barcelona.
yeah.
Yeah.
well, let's see. Besides Barcelona, the Love and Hope International Film Festival, where you got Best Actor for that, John, and kudos to you. Kudos to you for
200
that.
films.
And
Shot that I got.
yeah. Before let's see, and then besides that, you got you won the Best Canadian Project at the Greek International Film Festival Tour of Canada.
Another shocker, because most of the films were in Greek. Okay.
Oh, okay.
And we also entered LA, but they didn't pick us. I guess they went with Greek films. And this gentleman, Stan Popolkas, he likes Carpe Cimenti, and he won in this festival. And
it's because Johnny is Greek.
I'm Greek. I'm Greek. I speak Greek also.
Oh, okay, okay.
The festival that happens like all over Canada in the same week, and they show in like different venues all over Canada.
Yeah, they showed ours in Toronto and in Halifax.
And they show either Greek films or films made by Greek people of Greek heritage.
And we were shocked when they announced that we won Best Greek Canadian Project.
Yeah.
You can see the video when I'm up there. I didn't say.
We look like two.
I heard. All I thought it was my father, because I used to tell my dad, I say when I was in my 20s, I said, Baba, I want to be an actor. He goes, you're going to be a caragiosos, a clown. Put on an apron and go wash the dishes. You would tell me.
Wow.
Support in my eyes. Behind me, to all his friends, but he never gave me that, which gave me the drive. When I got up there, all I could think of is if my dad was in the audience at this moment. My dad passed away in 98.
Oh, okay.
He would have been yelling, my son. I know he would have been yelling.
Right.
My mom. So I missed them from being there. I was really, really shocked. I didn't thank anybody.
Yeah,
that happened to us also in New York.
Yeah, in New York too. When we won Best Actor, Best Actress in New York City, like we were in Times Square up against like really amazing films and acting, and to be called.
I was sitting there just waiting. We're gonna eat.
Yeah.
We're gonna eat. And when they called our names, I think they called your name first. They called her name. I was so happy, and then they called my name, and I was like, again, I was speechless.
Yeah,
And yes, also, yes, and not yes. So I keep on saying yes. This was the first.
that's a good time.
Yes, was the first festival that accepted us after 26.
No,
Wow.
26. Sorry. But yes was the first one. They took our trailer and then they saw the film. They didn't screen any films here in Canada, in Montreal, because they were features. They only screened the shorts.
Mhm.
But they nominated the film, best actor, best actress, and they
it
gave us the
won.
award for best cinematography. So it was the first one. So it's always in my heart. I'm always feeling the guy's Danny Malin. He treats Montreal talent with a lot of respect, and we
Uh-huh.
need more cities. Like I think right now when we were in Pittsburgh, they showed how they gave so many awards to student films, to Pittsburgh films.
But they were great.
And they were all great. I mean, student films, you think they were made by somebody that's had 10, 20 years
Right.
experience.
Yeah. Yeah.
Movie must be good.
Yeah.
And
Well, yeah.
when we were in Pittsburgh, I mean, it was a horror film festival, but they took our film and it was a comedy we were under the comedy category, and there was only one nomination. There was only one award that we could have been part of, and we won. And there's another shocker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's another shocker.
Yeah.
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 And they screened us. They only screened 3 features, and they gave us the best time. Like it was like
Gave us a good
they
time.
were so incredible. We met so many incredible.
Well, we met
people.
George A. Romero's widow, Suzanne. Actually, she was from Montreal. We got to meet
her. We hit it off with her. We got to speak with her for about an
legend's
hour.
wife. It's beautiful, and they were down to earth. We met a lot of the zombies from
Night of the Dead.
Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead. We met the zombies. It's just like it all started. That whole.
And we went to the cemetery where they shot Night of the Living Dead and took videos and like reenacted some scenes, and that was so much fun.
Yeah. That, like I said, I mean, deservedly so. You had so much going for you, and your film with your talent and the people working in the background, and but like you were saying, it got screened at a good time at the last venue we were talking about. So I think that helps a lot too, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, the exact time that you're being screened.
Yeah.
You get the 10 o'clock slot in the morning. A lot of people were partying all night in the beautiful nightlife of Barcelona. It's hard to wake up and you're there with one eye watching after. But yeah, we got some good times, and
yeah,
it was
Yeah,
beautiful.
yeah. I know, like you were saying before about wanting to see the most screen that you can. I try to do the same thing. It's I mean, a lot of them could be, like your friends or people that you first met, but I think you have to have like a certain amount of respect. Like it's like you would want people to come and see your film screen, whether or not you know them or not. And so it's like I want to do the same thing, that it's only right and respectful to give them, the same amount of
what you would like.
Right, the same amount of time and like the same amount of attention, that you would want other people, to see your projects. So
well, in Pittsburgh, we were watching one of the last features, and we're towards the end of the film, but we got an emergency text from our kids that the smoke alarm was on. So we had to step out of the theater and help them stop the noise before the firemen show up here and all that. And I stayed till the end to make sure I tell the filmmaker, we did not walk out of your film.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
As a filmmaker, when somebody walks out, your heart breaks. You feel
right. Well, yeah. Well,
he gave us a Blu-ray copy to finish watching a film. What a gentleman he was.
Wow.
Very nice.
Yeah. Well, I remember in Barcelona, like before each and every block of films played, and Darwin would get up there on stage and announce what the next part of the venue was going to be like. He would always say that if you have to leave for whatever reason, do it before the next film starts, or like maybe during the Q&A or after the Q&A, but before the next block of films or whatever starts. So
but it's hard to leave the Q&A because it gets interesting to hear
it does.
So you don't have much time, so you have to like wait. And to speak up, because I don't know if we talked about Barcelona yet. Did we talk about Barcelona? We talked a little bit about Barcelona. Barcelona was, I mean, you were there.
Yeah,
It was Hollywood. I
it
mean,
was, right? It was.
Darwin and his team, Marissa, Deborah, and Stephen Wilbur, they gave us a taste of Hollywood. It was remarkable. It was just like
Yeah.
party after. I mean, we were going to a party where there's a lineup of 100 people
Right.
at the Choco,
Yeah.
and
Choco, yeah,
Badges,
Choco.
come in.
Yeah, they saw us with the badges. We're like, oh no, how long are we gonna have to wait? And as we're getting closer,
The doorman.
the doorman said, "You come," because they saw the badges, and we just got right in front of everyone.
Right, yeah, that was great. That's all it took to get in
That
there.
was
You were
so
there.
much
You were
fun.
there. You were I saw you dancing with all those ladies. You're a
Yeah,
bachelor.
well, I had to stretch my legs.
I-
Put it that I had to
And
give
you're
my leg. I had to do my leg exercises for the day, so that's why. But
Well, it was so nice that when it got even more packed, which was like I felt like a sardine, and there were so many people.
right.
Another section. And the club grew huge. I couldn't believe the club, but we had to leave because we had our 2 kids with us.
Oh,
We had-
that's right. That's
We brought our
right.
kids to Spain with us, Achilles and Daphne.
Well,
which
they're
you never
22
met,
and 16. It's not like we brought our
Yeah.
toddlers to.
Oh,
which you got to meet. Which you got to meet. So that was nice. But gave
yeah,
us a taste of
that one bar, sort of a bar disco there, where they had like 2 different levels. I remember that on that. Well, of course, they had bars everywhere, but on this part of the room, they had another bar there. So there was a group of us dancing there, and they had like a black curtain.
Yes.
They had a black curtain, sort of, that was like even with the end of the bar. And so I don't know, maybe halfway through the night or something.
They opened it.
Yeah, I was just going to say, it's
That's what I was
like,
talking about.
yeah, it's like people around me kept moving back. I says, how can they move back? There's like a wall or a curtain back there. I turn around and the curtain is open and there's another bar farther back.
Huge. Yes.
Yeah, right.
That's one of the places that Darwin and his team set us up at. That was one. We had also the hotel on the roof. That was
Oh yeah, at the
you guys ended your festival run there.
I even made like an on the fly interview there, advertising for people to come up because we were up there. I think we started at like 11 o'clock at night, and I think it lasted maybe. I don't know.
wanted to come. We were just so tired. Plus,
Oh no, I know it.
Our kids were in Madrid at the point. At
Yes.
that point, because they flew over 50 euros each to fly to Madrid and back, and they went to see a concert, 5 Seconds of Summer. My kids.
Oh wow.
It was
Wow.
beautiful. We
Wow.
got to go to the beach alone, walk around, and it was nice.
Okay.
But at that time, we were so tired. We had to pick them up from the. And we didn't even pick them up. They showed up. They knew what they were doing. But that was another nice bar. Then we had my favorite bar was the boys' bar.
Yes.
That was one of my favorite.
Yeah. I think from now on, that'll be like the festival hangout, right? The boys' bar, BCN.
They treat us so nice.
Yeah, right. I mean, it's
down.
I mean, it was so much fun in there, and it's like small and intimate, right? And it's like everybody is like crowded in there, but it's like everybody's having a good time. If you want to stand up,
there was another bar. There was another bar where we went where they were playing old music and we got to sing along. I can't remember the name.
It was one that we had gone to, but it was too
packed,
packed, and so
so
we
we
went
went-
down the street.
Which belonged to that same bar. I can't remember. You were there too. I think you were.
I can't.
Irish something.
And the drinks weren't that expensive, and it was nice, because Barcelona is just beautiful. The most beautiful people I ever saw. I've never seen people fit. They walk a lot. The city's alive. 6 o'clock in the morning, Saturday, I'm taking my kids to the subway station so they can go to Madrid to take the plane, and it's full of people.
Right.
It's full of people as if it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
But that's the city that never sleeps.
That's right. I think they've got New York City beat by a long shot, right? I mean, hands down, Barcelona. They've got them beat.
And let's not forget, we had open bar for us at that hotel. And I remember Darwin was trying to get it for another half hour for us, but I think they were demanding.
Yeah.
Money. He was trying, having such a good time. And then we had the gala. The gala,
Oh, right.
flamenco dancing. We all got to, how many people were in there? 200, 250 people?
At least.
We all got to applaud for everybody. And, you know, like I was blown away.
Yeah.
And it's nice too because there was such a sense of unity with like all
There
the other
was.
and
There
all
was.
our like all our hard work, all of us, because we all worked just as hard on our projects. It was wonderful.
Darwin Arena with his team, how focused this man was. He could be talking to you in a conversation, and the right eye is going to see if it's okay there. He's so alert. He is, whether he's going to be a filmmaker, because he's done films also, whether he's going to have festivals or maybe open up Universal Studios. This man is going to be so successful, and he's got class and he's got charm, and you have a lot of respect.
Yeah, and he never breaks under pressure.
Never breaks under pressure. I haven't seen him.
Calmer and kinder. Like even like he just whoo, and
maybe if I take him in an interrogation room, I'll make him sweat a little bit. You know, him and Steven Wilbur, we'll get them together.
You can have your own interrogation on the fly interview with them, right? The interrogation version.
They're beautiful people. I hope I know them for the rest of my life.
Yeah. And he's such a good friend too. Well, all of them are. Darwin, Stephen, Marissa, Deborah.
There was more. I didn't get to meet everybody, their names. There was photographers. There was people holding the door open.
Yeah.
But
volunteers. And they volunteers.
Always being photographed. You were always being interviewed. There
was
on the radio. Like
that's why I wouldn't eat.
Non-stop.
I wouldn't eat because there's snapping pictures.
Right.
Everybody wants a selfie. It was just like, wow. It's like,
I know that the gala that was like selfie central. It's like after before, during, and after
all the time.
And we had beautiful filmmakers there.
I know it.
And they won awards. They're all deserving. There was some fantastic films. Again,
definitely.
Especially the Spanish film. I was blown away by all the Spanish films. And some of them even have subtitles, but I understood it. I understand Spanish, but not fluently. But I understood it. Magical filmmaking, beautiful.
Oh yeah. Did you talking about Darwin's team there? Did you happen to meet Rodrigo Torres? He was.
Rodrigo is the one that did the Summer Nights. Is that one? Yeah, I didn't get to meet. I get to talk a lot with him, and we had caught the film just like at the end. We were somewhere else. We didn't even know what's playing was on there.
Yeah.
So you remember it's summertime.
You're thinking of Oscar Torre with this.
Who's Rodrigo now? Sorry, I'm so sorry.
Rodrigo Torres. He's on Darwin's team. During the award ceremony at the gala, remember there were two men on either side of the stage with the confetti poppers.
Yeah.
Rodrigo was on the left-hand side with his confetti popper. That was Rodrigo.
Every time he popped, I thought I had to reach in my jacket. I thought it was a gun. Like, oh.
But that's the one of the other ones on Darwin's team besides Stephen, Maurice, Deborah. It's Rodrigo.
Also a big tall guy.
Yes.
I can't remember his name. What's his name? The guy he was.
But that's who he's saying.
No.
Oh no.
No.
I don't honestly.
He wasn't Spanish. Rodrigo. Maybe he was.
Okay. The fellow that I'm thinking about, Rodrigo, he is Spanish. Rodrigo.
Is he the one that's in the film?
No, he's part of he's part of Darwin's team.
I'm sure we met him. I'm sure we talked to him, but there's just so many.
I apologize for not remembering. I'm sorry.
Oh no, that's okay. That's okay.
There was another fellow that was on the team, but he was in one of Darwin's films, or in one of Notel, or I don't know which one. They shot a film in Sweden. A big fellow. He shot a film in Stockholm. I met him. I can't remember his name. I'm sorry. It's been 1 month that.
I just
got back. I slept a few hours and we're doing the interview.
Yeah. No, I'm trying to think of it too there, and I sort of had a brain freeze on that one too, but I mean, it's
There
like,
were so many. There were so many.
yeah, that's just it. There was so many, and you enjoyed them. You know, we enjoyed them so much, and the acting
Yeah.
and the cinematography that, yeah, probably over 200 screened, if
Oh
not,
yeah.
Yeah.
if you know, if
And
not more.
the screen was
So,
beautiful.
oh
The
yeah,
screen in the oldest cinema in Barcelona. It was
yes, I was
gorgeous.
very,
Yeah.
and they've refurbished it and they've kept it up in
Oh,
like
Yeah.
tip top condition, and
Yeah. And even just being in the Gothic area was just so
oh.
beautiful.
oh, I know it, I know it, I know.
So
Well,
it was more. It was more than just a festival. It was a vacation. It was to get to know one of the most beautiful cities in the world. I mean, and I told Darwin already. Thank you so much for officially selecting our film to be in your beautiful city in this beautiful
oh
festival.
yeah, 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 and
We have two more festivals to go to.
yeah, and it's like I tell everybody this. It's like, to me now, Barcelona is like my second home, right? I first went there last year, uh, in the cast of Ella Muscroft's After Mum last year, and this year with my talk show segment. But like after last year, I vowed to be back, and I was so glad to be back because, like I said, it feels like a second home to me.
Well, you
So.
look comfortable, so I gotta admit, you look comfortable. You're happy there. So nice to see you. It was so nice to see your familiar face from Skip Town because I remember we went to McDonald's once together and
Yes,
we had a
yes,
nice time. Got to meet you. I told you remind me of Robert Duvall. Remember
yes,
that?
yes,
Remember
yes.
that? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You should play a role.
Thank.
You're also an actor. I'm sure your audience know you're also an actor, and you
Oh
can also
yeah, yeah,
voice
yeah.
every.
Thank you
If I
for
ever need a
that.
judge, you look like a judge, and like I'm
Well,
scared of judges.
I played a judge.
I
I
believe it.
played a TV cop investigator. So I play like a lot of authoritative figures. So I guess they like what I do. So I just keep on doing what I
Keep
do.
doing it.
You know.
Keep
And
doing it. Enjoy it.
yeah, and I enjoy it. I enjoy it too. Yeah, yeah. So and you both keep enjoying what you do because we were talking about that you just came back from the Pittsburgh Moving Picture Festival for Scarpetta again, and that was you were telling me, Olga, that it was under the dark comedy genre
Yes.
category, and which you just both, like we said, recently returned from. So,
That
what?
was a gorgeous screen. It
Ah,
was
yeah.
about
What was your?
29 feet in diameter.
Plush leather seats,
One of the
surround
most
sound.
gorgeous
It
scenes. It
was
was at the
the
Lindsay.
Lindsay, the Lindsay Theater and Cultural Center. That theater is gorgeous,
And,
gorgeous.
and the festival was also paying homage to Romero Lives, George A. Romero. So George A.
Oh, okay.
Romero's widow was there to present one of the film's crazies. Plus, we saw Day of the Dead mixed in with our films.
Yeah,
The George A.
yeah.
Romero Foundation was sponsoring, right?
Yeah.
Sponsoring
Okay,
this festival. I couldn't believe we're there. I mean, I live
okay,
in one of
okay. Well, your film Scarpetta Cemente. Uh, to me, I mean, it has so many like different flavors in it, but one of them is like horror because, like, without giving anything away,
yeah.
Yeah.
which maybe our viewers haven't seen it yet, like towards the end of the film, it does sort of become a sort of like a horror film because of the way that
Where
the
we take it.
tables are turned on
Yeah.
each of your characters.
Well, it's the first, when we were writing it as a play, we said it. The first 48 minutes, we're going to give him comedy. And it's just like in the Bronx Tale, when those bikers walk in, he locks the door and he goes, and now they can't leave. And we know when the whole film, the comedy stops, we know the audience can't leave. And we have them for the last 36 minutes.
Right.
And we know. And which is it's nice. It's nice to have it different layers. The film has got comedy. The film has got
Yes.
has got
drama,
heavy
parody.
drama. It's character driven. It's
Yeah.
got story.
And this was
It's beautiful. The cinematography, the lighting.
Yeah. But this was a play that we did in 1996. We wrote this back in 1996. We did 3 months of research and then wrote it in 3 days and then toured it for a few months across Canada and the United States. In 1996, we were much younger, and to have done it now in the 2020s, like it was so different. And I can't say better or worse. It was just very different to play her, where everything that she had been like bottling inside was there for much longer, and so it just gave different layers to the characters, and it was a lot of fun.
What we did when we wrote as a play, we did like 3 months of research. We were in Winnipeg. It was freezing. We had to walk to the library. The internet didn't exist when we wrote this. When we wrote it, and when we decided to sit down, we sat down, and in 3 days, the script was complete. It was a play at the time, but the script was fully complete. And we went on to perform. We might have made 1 or 2 small changes with a line or two. And same as the film script. When we adapted, say, well, did you change a lot when you adapted? No, we added lines where everybody's telling us cut out lines, add sex scenes. You say this word too much, cut it, change the ending. I have a better ending for you. We don't listen to anybody. And we added even more lines. So, like we said, if you could watch a comedian up there on stage, Robin Williams or Eddie Murphy for 90 minutes or for 120 minutes, why can't you watch 2 people in one room? And it works. It works. 114 awards or 150 awards says it works. No, like beyond that, I can't do it anymore. I'm not Steven Spielberg. I'm not Francis Ford Coppola or Scorsese or all the other great directors. But for us, it works. We're happy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like they say, you must have done something right to get all those awards for both the film and
I couldn't have enough money to pay all the judges.
Well,
for this film, I don't know if you know, but for this film, we had a little bit of money and we wanted to shoot it. So we're depending on Olga. Olga's a professional translator, making more and more and more. But we shot it, and then we needed money for the post, and she went to get it, but it wasn't enough. So we had to mortgage our house.
Wow.
We took our kids' college funds, put it in, we paid them back, but we put in to finish this film. Nobody gave us a dime. Nobody. And a lot of people try to claim the film after. It's like, but nobody helped. Nobody helped. It was our money. We paid every single person.
Yeah.
Right.
Except for ourselves.
Yeah.
If you were in a film, I paid you too. I would have bought you a cigar.
Yeah.
Cigars.
Well, there's a little kid in that movie for like 30 seconds.
There's a little kid in the film.
He got paid a big bag of candy.
Yeah.
Oh,
but everyone got paid cash.
Well, that's enough for him. To him, that was probably like $1 million in gold if you gave him some free candy.
He was that was $1 million in fixing his teeth.
Right. Yeah. Well, I guess that's the way. Like an independent film that any of us ever do. It's like probably a lot of people. Like outside the industry, they don't realize that independent filmmakers mostly do it like out of pocket. Maybe occasionally they might go like to a crowdfunder or whatever, but
which we didn't.
Yeah, but
I'm too proud to take somebody's money
for
my work.
Right.
But now with Werewolves, which doors have opened for us, and we will be shooting Werewolves.
Werewolves is a screenplay that we've written. We've actually.
I think he was going to ask us. Wait, you might have a question for us or something.
Yeah. This is a good segue into that question. I can say, funny that you brought that subject up. So I'll ask the question now. So I was going to say that in September of this year, Werewolves, your film Werewolves, was an official selection. Along with Scarpetta-Semente, which was a semifinalist, and they were recognized at the Macro Project Film Festival in Florida.
Universal Studios.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about what Werewolves is all about, or expand on what
Werewolves is a film script that we wrote a little while back in 2009, and we were supposed to produce with some people, but it didn't work out. It didn't work out at all. We just walked away right away. We saw the games being played, and we're not like we're very transparent. Let's do it this way. We say what we're going to do. Nobody's ever going to control my projects because I rather not do them. I'll be honest with you. There's a way we write them. We want them to be shot. And, you know, like to all the Hollywood people that are ever going to get involved with us, if they ever get involved with us, I'm going to be just transparent and say, this is what we want. We want to control it because we know, we see it. So we wrote it as a film script. And then we went and we wrote it as a novel, which is doing fantastic on Amazon. It's been selling for years. And it's a film about 18 kids that are part of the junior ROTC program. That's you know, but I don't know if Canadians know. That's the young army that, you know, the cadets that are going to go into the army.
Right,
And
right.
their sergeant that teaches them all in one class. And the sergeant, he had a bullet lodged in his leg. He was a super sergeant. He was great in the army, but he couldn't be anymore because of that. So he wanted to train kids and explain them. And then he decides to take them for a week in survival. It's supposed to be on Thanksgiving, but we might change the date because of the weather. We'll see. But in the film, it's Thanksgiving. So he takes them out for a weekend in the mountains to teach them survival and to teach them unity. And that's where the film becomes Werewolves, which is spelled WHERE wolves.
Right.
Werewolves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's about bullying and social commentary.
But it's a fast, fun action horror film, and we put the script into into a few festivals, and almost everywhere we've either won or been
but
like
even
we
were nominated for Barcelona. It was nominated for a best film script.
And so at the Macro Project, which is part of Universal Studios, there we
were nominated.
There.
We didn't win. Somebody else won. Another great script.
And that's the one that we're hoping to do next.
That's the one.
Hopefully with Scriptage, we can see that we're actual filmmakers and that we kind of like we know what we're doing, or we're doing something different.
And it's going to be Olga and me directing this. We have smaller parts in this.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And I have just a small part as a truck driver. You know,
okay. Yeah, and, I was just going to ask the both of you if you have any parts in the film, or
she's going to play Dilly. One of the main, I don't want to give up anything.
No.
Character.
A secondary character, and hopefully we're striving to get Michael Shannon. Michael, if you hear this, we're looking for you, and Joshua Jackson, that's from Canada,
to play his brother.
To play the two brothers.
Okay.
And then
they'll hear this next week when it's uploaded to YouTube, so they'll hear all about your offer next week. Don't worry about that.
And my son, that's an actor, he's going to play one of the characters, Jeffrey Dalton. In it.
Oh, great.
I want all that. I want all that before I do anything, because I want my son to play. My son read the book at a young age. He gets it. He is the character.
He's been acting
and it wasn't.
He was in a TV show.
Yeah.
He was in Fatherhood with Kevin Hart. And so he's got acting experience.
And this character is perfect for him. And I want him in it. And there's so many other kids. We have 17 other diverse kids that I grew up with. You know,
wow.
I grew up in Montreal. I grew up with the most beautiful area in the world. We were all the same people.
And the dialogue is very specific to these kids, just like in Scriptage, the dialogue,
it's
because it's quick, fast, but it's a lot of casino talk because it takes place in Vegas. So Luigi always says like no dice instead of like no, and like he uses lay my cards down, and he has casino talk. And in Werewolves, we have created
a language of their own. Because they're always moving around. They're army brats.
Same style that we use. It's very quick, fast, and like slick, and everything boom, 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 and very specific and particular to them.
It's harsh. It's harsh. There's bullying. I remember when we wrote the novel, we sent it to Shelley Lido, and she's known us from doing theater.
She's a poet. She's an
award-winning poet, and she took it and she did. She edited it, and she was saying, "Oh my God, you guys are so harsh with the bullying, and can't you let somebody live?" And you're killing everybody. It's hard.
It's like don't kill off everybody in the film, right, before it's ended, right?
It was great to have her there and to point that out, and we didn't, and it's good. Actually, it's one of my favorites. One of my favorite in the world of plays I've done, and something I want to do is just one, and it's called The Wool Gatherer. Not my films, and I've done Bad Boy, I've done Scarpinacciamente, I've done John in a Package Deal, and what else? Cocaine Eyes, where I played Bobby. This play was written by William Massimo. I think
The Wool Gatherer.
The Wool Gatherer. I think every actor should pick up a copy and read it, because every emotion you need as a human being is in this play. And that's where I learned a lot of my acting from this man, and I learned how to write from this man. Where
Okay.
he would always tell us it's good, but get rid of the beauties. You don't need the beauties. He says the beauties are
The darlings.
the darlings, something you want so badly, but
Yeah, that the line is beautiful, but
But it
it just
doesn't fit.
doesn't fit.
get rid of it.
So get
Get
rid of
rid of
it,
it.
no matter
Use it.
how beautiful the line is.
A lot of stuff.
And the
Make
wood
sure-
gatherers, so it's male, female, and it's just
well, I'll probably do it again on
an
stage.
acting right in half. Like it just
Maybe we'll do it in New York someday. Oh, maybe upstate New York. We'll come see you. Maybe we'll do it.
That's right.
It's my
Yeah,
favorite play.
you can bring it to upstate New York, bring it to Albany. They have proctors there, the well-known theater
Skip Town.
proctors in
Skip Town Vince wants it to be done as a play in his theater.
yeah.
And I wouldn't mind, but that's Scarpa di Trementi, I mean. He wants Scarpa di Trementi to be done, but now that it's on film, it feels a little weird to do it back as a play.
Oh yeah. After you've
still
gone
love
that
it.
far
I
with
mean,
the film, yeah.
I know every line. In 24 hours, we could revive the film and we would never even make a mistake. Just like on set, we never made a mistake. We rehearsed for 2 weeks, just the two of us. Sorry, with the dog. We'd walk down the street and we would run the film. We would run the film for 2-3 hours every walk, every day, doing it funny, doing it from the ground, doing it while we're picking up, the dog's mess.
Yeah.
Just so it could be spontaneous on screen, which was. There was never any acting involved. It was just, it was so simple.
Right,
So simple.
right.
We just needed
right.
some remarkable people to shoot us, and it was so simple.
Yeah. Well, just like you were saying, like werewolves, you were saying they had like their own language that they spoke amongst each other. So that was really like they were like their own culture, right? Because they had their own language that they understood each other, right?
And they still didn't get along. Just to show you, and there's still pockets of separation and bullying and racism. So we're showing all this, and the werewolves come.
Yeah.
Then
So like the idea for the story for werewolves, did part of it sort of come from your like when you were growing up, John, in the area that you were, having to maybe like face violence or something? Did that have?
No. The whole story is that I love horror films. That's my first genre.
Oh, okay.
I love horror, but I said to Olga, if we ever write a horror film, it's got to be realistic. And one of the most realistic horror films that I love, again, it was a George A. Romero film. It was called Martin, where this kid thinks he's a vampire. And that inspired us to write werewolves. And although the kids they all have names from people I grew up with when I was younger, back in the early 70s, although that none of the story is relatable with the violence, it's different. I mean, I grew up different too. I mean, I grew up in the street where, we did have to protect ourselves once in a while.
Right.
Protect ourselves once in a while. Things weren't always perfect for us.
Yeah. That's why I was wondering if there was any connection.
Nothing.
Okay.
No, nothing. I was never in the army. I don't think I could take orders from anybody.
Well, we did a lot of research and we had hundreds of Post-it notes all over the walls.
Oh,
wow.
Just because the story is like, it's told.
Right.
It's all what taught us is America.
Right.
It's the wonderful movies that came out of the United States of America that I've studied all my life. And now I'm studying more films from all over the world.
Yeah.
But what taught me is the love of film of the US. I've seen every Best Picture Oscar. That's how I started. I used to buy the VHSs from Wings in 1927 all the way. I think I stopped at Schindler's List because I couldn't watch it because I was scared to watch it. After
okay, yeah.
I still haven't watched it, but I will. I have a copy. I have all the films in VHS. Anybody know what that is? Is that a
we three know what it is, but well, some of them out there in Zoom TV land might know. Maybe the majority of them don't know. So at least
some of them are still wrapped up. I have never opened them. They can be worthwhile. Gandhi, one of my favorite films. It's like it's still wrapped up. I've seen it, but I bought it so my kids could have it. And my kids watch it. I want DVD, or they want to stream it. It's easier. They don't want to
right.
Nobody wants to. You kidding? Press a button. That's work. Let me think of it in my mind. Like, Siri, play Gone of the Wind for me.
Right. Either that or like with the old cassette tapes, it's like the old last minute remedy of rewinding it with a pencil, the old cassette tapes there.
I broke many a tape that way.
Right. You hit a snag in the tape and you try to go this way counterclockwise and then like they
And then
say.
it breaks, and you're fixing it like an editor in the 50s.
Right.
Tape,
Yeah, it's like you're turning the pencil each way. What did they say to remember things? Lefty loosey, righty tighty. You're trying to find.
yeah, but in another context, we won't talk about it.
Yeah, right. So getting back to the story where you were saying that you sort of had notes all over the house. So would it be safe to assume that your entire house was like a storyboard, the whole house?
For werewolves, when we wrote it, we had to because the film starts with the ending. Starts with the ending, and
or
close to the ending.
Close to the ending.
So something happens, and then there's these two bullets that go through a window. They crash. They're about to hit something, and bullets blur out in red.
Okay.
And then we start rewinding the film slowly, and we're playing the song. Hopefully, we get Styx's Renegade. Oh, mama, you know that song that starts.
Yeah.
And slowly, as it goes, boom, boom, it's going back until the bullets are back. The windows back up, and the bullets go into the two rifles in the dark. And in the dark, the music picks up, and boom, we're in high school, and you see the first character, which is Doris. We're in high school, and the story takes place, and then we'll bring you back to where we're at, but we want to show everybody how we got there. So we're telling the story towards the end. It's just and normally we never do flashbacks or anything, but we're telling the story in a different way. I think it'd be nice cinematically.
Yes, and usually like everything we've written, we're two-handers, and so we had another play that we did off Broadway too called Bad Boy, and that one we had adapted into a screenplay years ago, like in the late 90s.
Yeah.
And anyways, it didn't pan out. There we had a lot of characters, but in this one, it was the first time that we actually wrote from scratch. Like we didn't adapt one of our plays. It was like a fresh story, and it's a lot of people in it, and so we wanted to make sure that it was interesting and that we remained interested and that we knew that each one had a voice, their own voice, so that not everyone sounds the same. So we had just notes everywhere.
Some people are saying, 18 kids, that's too much to work with. Don't worry about it. I'm going to work with them. I will take these 18 kids, put them in a room with us, and I'm going to rehearse them for a month. I don't care. That's the budget I want. I want to rehearse because I'm not worried about if I get someone like Michael Shannon or Joshua Jackson, but these kids are going to have to really mix in and get it going. And kids are incredible. I met 17, 18-year-olds in Skip Town.
I went at the movies. I forgot what it was
I couldn't believe the performance. And you said, there's a lot of us like that. There's a lot of us. There's a group when you need them. Let me know. They're all American. We're probably going to shoot this in Pittsburgh. We're probably, if it right with some people we saw, but even if it doesn't go right with those people and I get the money myself, I'm shooting in Pittsburgh. I'm shooting in Pittsburgh because I fell in love with that place and I want to shoot it near the cemetery. They're coming to get you, Barbara. I want to shoot it there.
That's just like in Barcelona. You're talking about filmmakers. One of the young filmmakers that won an award there. I could not believe that it was not someone older that made that film. When they came up to accept their award, it's like wow, I assume like it was made by someone like much older, and there's a vast amount of talent out there, right?
Yeah.
Because they love it as much as we love it.
Oh yeah. Well, besides all the successes that you've had, in your professional career acting, you each do things outside of your performing career. And John, I noticed that you posted about some of your culinary creations. And
oh my God, I'm so glad you asked me about that. What else I do? Yes, I grew up, I think, from 6 years old, working in the restaurants where my dad used to always tell me, go put on an apron, wash the dishes or whatever. And I became a cook. I became a cook, and I don't know what did I post that I made? What was it that I posted?
Well, I'll tell. So wonder you asked. I can tell you what you made. You made souvlaki, and I can pronounce that right because I had a cousin, God rest his soul, years ago. He did a 22-year hitch in the U.S. Air Force, and his last assignment was at the American Air Base in Athens, Greece. So I've heard souvlaki, ouzo, and all that. So that's why I know how to pronounce souvlaki. Tzatziki, you also.
Oh, you pronounced that right.
Yeah, right. And that was in a May 18th Instagram post. So that got me to wondering, what other culinary specialties do you make, and are you the house chef?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. She works, and I'm a cook. I've been a cook all my life. She can't cook for her life.
I don't enjoy cooking.
No, it's not she enjoys. She can't cook for life. Call it what it. She's highly intelligent, talented. She's so beautiful, but you can't have it all. I mean, I'm lucky. You want to be me now? But
I undercook it, overcook it.
I learned the one thing my dad used to teach me. He would say, "Learn it and don't ever use it, but learn it." And he told me, "You want to be independent in life?" Because I never knew if I'd get married, or I didn't know where my life was going. I even know how to sew with a sewing machine. I know how to knit. I know everything I could know. Why not? It's not women only do it. I mean,
right.
And I love to knit. It's creating.
Yeah, but he cooks really, really good food.
So I'm a specialist in marination. I can marinate anything that'll taste good and won't burn. When you cook
okay.
on a charcoal, my pork chop inside is just moist. And please out there, don't send me a letter telling me you want me to open a restaurant. Been there, done that. We'll never go back to a restaurant. I will work in a restaurant. I don't mind. I would love to work. I love the
Right.
I'm in a restaurant, it's a lot of hours, but I love cooking. I also make pizza. I make my own pizza.
Like he flips it in the air.
I used to flip small pizzas.
Oh,
like
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, his food is outstanding.
Yeah.
It's hard to go to a restaurant because he cooks so well.
Oh yeah, I can't afford to go. I spend all my money.
Like burgers, even like there's no one that makes a better burger than Johnny's. And
okay.
Yeah. And so maybe if we do a zombie film, we could even cook them.
Yeah. So that lunch that we had during Skiptown Film Festival at McDonald's, that in no way compares to your excellence in cooking, right?
No, but it was the first time that I ever had an Angus burger. I had never had it at McDonald's.
I will not.
Really? Wow.
Because a lot of people like McDonald's. I don't knock anything. Good, they like it, but I'm the type I rather eat home or surprise me. Take me somewhere. Surprise. It's very expensive to eat now. It's not like our days. We used to pay $3.25 for a meal, tax in.
Right.
It was $3.26. They would add taxes, but $3.25 was. And my father would sell a club sandwich for that kind of money. A small pizza was $3 a day. Everything is astronomical. You can't. You got to put 18% or 24% tip. You can't as a poor person. Even if you're not poor,
you're gonna be poor if you keep going.
Why would you give your money there where there's so many people in the world that don't have it?
I know it.
That's what saddens me. Like when I used to drink, I don't drink anymore. I stopped drinking many years ago. But when I used to drink, I'd say that bottle of wine's $300. It's delicious, but I wouldn't buy it. And you say, why? Because if I bought one, I'd have to donate $300 to somebody poor because I'd feel guilty because that is a luxury. Some people will never have that. So, we're like that too. I know I grew up poor. I grew up very poor. So I know what that is. I know Olga and myself, we were living in Winnipeg. We ate macaroni and cheese 4 times a week and popcorn 3 times a week to fill our bellies. We had
and then the following week, 4 days popcorn, 3 days mac and cheese.
We didn't have.
I can't look at mac and cheese anymore.
We were too proud to ask. We were very thin. I was about 140 pounds. Scarpacciamente, no pictures you see. I was very thin.
We were like skeletal.
But we had to write this film, this play by ourselves at the time. And not, depend on anybody. And my father finally sent me some gas money to come back home because there was a baptism. So I went, and I came back. I went back to Winnipeg. I completed. We finished the Scarpa de Cementi,
The research.
and then we sat down and wrote it during Christmas, and you know.
Yeah.
So funny that cooking always revolved around acting.
Right, right. So with the cooking, you're mentioning pizza and all different kind of dishes. What other, say, like Italian dishes? What other Italian dishes do you make?
Well, me, it's mainly Canadian cuisine. It's not like I'm not an expert in Italian because
Oh, okay, okay.
Emilio's wife cooks incredible. I am a Canadian cuisine, American cuisine. I make you the best hoagie you'll ever eat in your life, or submarine as we call it here.
Right.
I make that.
Yeah.
I can improvise. I think before.
And he makes all Greek like from scratch.
Tzatziki, I make my own. Tomato
wow.
sauce, I make my own for pizza. I can make pork souvlaki. I can make salmon souvlaki.
Souvlakis he makes.
Salmon.
Just incredible.
Yeah. And with the salmon,
wow.
it's very simple. To marinate. I find
the pita bread with all the everything, and it's just he wraps it up like just like in the restaurant, and it's just amazing.
Yeah, I see. That's how I got it. Beauty in the Beast, but nobody else can call her beast.
You're making me hungry. I'm going to eat a house fill after we get done here. You're making my my mouth water just talking about all that food there. But yeah.
And Olga, well,
What?
that she could cook some stuff. She makes what do you make? You make
I make a good salad.
she makes a good salad. She makes a good salad. And I used to make.
I eat salad too. That's all. I mean, I eat side dishes and main dishes. So just put it all in front of me, whatever either one of you are making, and I'll gobble it right up. So I never leave anything in my plate. I just scoop it right up. So
Yeah.
I never.
So Olga, do you make like I know what I like instead of having like say like a lettuce salad with tomatoes and all that thing in there. I like to have just a tomato salad. I like to put oil and vinegar. I like to put let's see, parsley, onions,
It's a Greek salad, man.
freshly cut up garlic in there. Mix it all together.
Yeah.
That's a Greek salad. They have tomatoes and raw onions and a salad, salt, pepper, oil, vinegar, and olives
and feta.
I love feta cheese. Oh yeah, I love feta cheese.
Bread.
Yeah.
They give you a lot of bread. Greeks eat. They give them a lot of bread so they can eat and stay quiet for a minute. But Greeks they talk. Spanish. You saw Barcelona. Nobody's talking.
It's funny that you should mention bread because I had an uncle years ago, since passed away years ago, and he used to like his tomato salad, but I think he mostly just used to like mix cut up tomatoes in like oil and olive oil or whatever. And so he used to like to take, like maybe cut slices out of like, say, like hard Italian bread, the loaf hard, and he used to love to dunk a piece of bread with the tomatoes and the oil and just like scoop it and slide it around and eat the bread, and it would be all full of the tomato and the oil. And in Italian, he used to call it unta, which means like dunk. He would say, he was going to say, he'd say, he says, yesterday, he says, I had a nice unta. He says, I just made the tomato salad with the oil and I swirl the bread around there. And,
but you're part Italian, aren't you? Part Italian?
Yeah. I'm half Italian and I'm half Slovenian. And
so wait a minute. So the Slovenian part of you likes to drink, but the Italian doesn't want to buy them.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Slovenian, they make a nice pastry. It's especially known like around the holidays. It's called let's see. It's called petitsa. It's a Slovenian. It's sort of like a dessert. What they do. My father told me about this years and years ago. God rest his soul too. My grandmother, his mother, used to like get up early, and she used to roll out the dough and like a pastry dough. And he said that she used to roll it out as big as like a dining room table, and she used to roll it out as like paper thin so you could see through it if you picked it up. And they used to put all different kind of things in there, like walnuts and everything. And it used to sort of be like a jelly roll. She'd roll the whole thing up and they would bake it that way.
I can already.
Wow.
Yeah. And I always heard about it, but I never ever tasted. I've got to try to make it someday because I guess it's a really involved process. You know, it's almost like an overnight thing. You got to start early, and then by the time you prepare it and roll it up, I guess it's a pretty involved process. So that's on my to-do list one of these days. So or to find someone that can do that, so so that I can eat it, so I don't have to do that. But
hurry up and find her.
yeah.
When are you get married,
Okay.
man?
That's right. Edward Osredkar and Edward Osredkar's Entertainer Chat. We're looking for someone who can make me pizza. Let's put it out
That's
there
right.
that
There we
way.
go.
That's right. Yeah. We're looking for a woman who can make pizzas. So I put it out there. It's on my YouTube channel. Like it, comment it in my YouTube channel. We'd love to.
You're gonna get everybody headhunting you.
We'd love to hear from you, right?
Yeah.
You get to interview some fabulous looking people. I've seen them. It's like everybody loves Edward. Everybody loves Edward. It's fantastic. And a lot of artists. I mean, even me, I'll put myself under the fabulous. But you
Well,
have
let me put it this way. Everyone that's on my show is fabulous. That's why I have you on here. That's why. So
Yeah.
so you're all on the next level. You're all on the next level. So that's why we have you here at Entertainer Chat. So and talking about being on the next level, Olga, I see that. Well, I remember you mentioning to me during one of the walks that we all took as a group to the various evening venues that the festival provided in Barcelona. And I remember you telling me that you speak several languages and you're also a translator, which you both mentioned a little while ago through the chat here. So I was just wondering, how many languages do you speak, and do you still work as a translator today?
Uh, yeah, I'm perfectly fluent in 3 languages, English, French, and Spanish. And I work as a translator and interpreter in all 3 languages. Just yesterday, like we got back at 6:30 in the morning, and then at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, I had interpretation from English to French. I listen in English and I speak French for the government of Canada. It was a 1 hour session for something, and I love it. It's like a mind trip. Like I have the headphones on and I'm hearing one language and spitting out another. And people are speaking 1,000 miles a minute. They don't realize that they're being interpreted, or they just don't think about it. And you're going, and in French, everything is like spoken like this. Like I have to hear the end of the sentence to be able to say it, because things are reversed in the way that it's the grammar structure. And so
Okay.
it's just such a mind trip to retain everything and to spit things out and just continue and not stop and just make it flow just as naturally. I love it. I love it. I love it. And I also translate from English, French, and Spanish, like written, and I do a lot of legal. I work for the United Nations, like interpreting for the government of Canada, for Europe, for
accounting.
Oh, cool.
And I translate legal documents. I translated a lot of legal. I've translated even like legal courses, a lot for Europe when the privacy laws had changed, and for the government of Canada, Edmonton, for a lot. And so I love it because it's very different. Like
she also did the translation of Scarpa Clemente.
The subtitles.
The subtitles from English to Spanish, and like with the slang and with everything. It wasn't just copied off a machine.
Oh,
she did
okay.
it. She's also finishing the French right now, and we did the English. So we have it in three languages. But this is what she does. She's incredible. She won't brag about it, but they call her all the time. She has to refuse work. They call her.
That's good. That's good.
Sometimes she goes 18 hours straight to finish because she gives her word. That's the one thing about the two of us. If we promise you something, we're gonna just deliver.
Yeah,
Right.
and a lot of times I'll get like an emergency job, and usually a job will be split, like a big job will be split into 2 people, but to keep the because like one person can't do it. And so I say, no, just give it all to me. I just won't sleep and I'll work for 18, 20 hours
So
straight,
you can
because
give it
that
the
way
same feeling.
you can give, like it'll all have the same like words, because like there's synonyms, like there's like 2 or 3 ways to say the same thing. And so to make sure it's all said the same way and to keep the continuity and to keep the text clear, I'll just take it. And I like that. Like it's not about me. Nobody knows that it's me. Like it's freelance. So I think, and a lot of times the proofreaders will say to the project managers, can you tell that guy that he's so good? Whenever that guy does any work, can you send it to me? Because it's so good. Like I love, like there's nothing to correct. And so I'm like, it's so funny. And a lot of times it's women calling me a man and not even thinking, like not even saying he, she, like, because you don't know, you're just getting the work. And but a lot of women think I'm a man, and I find that very sexist on behalf of women. So we got to open up our eyes, because it's not just men that are sexist; it's a lot of women too.
Right. I know you would think that after all this time, and like they say, we're living in modern times now, where things are changing and things are more accepting and things like that. It does surprise me that those situations still exist today, right?
It shocks me.
But it happens.
Yeah.
People are trying. I think people are trying.
Oh yeah, well, I guess.
We don't care.
Yeah, I guess as long as they try, I guess that's.
It's like here in Quebec, we have 2 languages, and when somebody speaks to me in French, although I'm not perfect French, I try. It's a little respect, I try, and as long as you try, people respect you, and that's what we do. We have we have to be good people in this world, We have to be no matter what, no matter what.
Yeah.
Sorry, and just to finish, I also speak. I can get by in Italian and I can get by in German.
Okay.
She doesn't understand a word of Greek.
Well,
she just knows in Greek to say "thelokrasi." I want wine. That's it.
Okay.
But I kept her mute.
Well,
I kept her mute on Greek. I didn't want her to understand what I'm talking
about.
Well,
you know the important words, right, John? The wine and all that stuff. You know the important
Greek?
stuff.
No, I speak fluent. I speak fluent Greek. I can read it and I can write if I have to.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm Greek.
Yeah.
I have a Greek background. I am a proud Greek. Especially when I was in Toronto receiving that award, I was proud. I almost burst out crying in front of everybody. I try not to do that. Yeah. I try only when she kicks me in the knee.
No. give you a gentle reminder, right? Cut that out, right? Yeah. Well, that's just like my cousin that I was mentioning, did his last hitch in Athens, Greece airport base there. He could I mean, he was stationed there for quite a few years, and he could talk Greek like with the best of them, and he had 2 children, a boy and a girl, and raised them there. One was born there, the girl was born there, and the boy, he had an assignment like in California, so the boy was born in California, but his daughter was born in Greece, but they all lived together in Greece when he was in the Air Force there. And his little boy and girl at the time, of course, now they're, probably 50, 55 years old. But at the time, they could just talk a string in the Greek language, like they'd come to visit us, like during the summer when he had his furlough. And they would be speaking between each other, but, back and forth, just as fluent, just like if they were actually born there, I mean, of course, they heard it all the time with him, their father speaking to his friends and things like that. But well, even like this past February in Stockholm for the Darwin's Film Festival there, it's like that's the first time I was ever in Sweden before. So I was trying to pick up Swedish a little at a time. So every time I would hear a word, I'd Google it and I'd kind of make a note of it in like the English translation. So for the short time I was there, I learned like a handful of words. Like one of them to say thank you, it's tak. That's thank you.
That's easy. That's easy, man.
Yeah, right.
Say Efcharisto. That's in Greek. Thank you. Efcharisto.
What's that? Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, okay.
Longer word. That's good.
Yeah, but anyway, it's like you know, I came to know a few extra, you know, a few more words. So then, you know, like if I went into a store and I wanted to buy something like a corner grocery store, you know, I started saying a few words, and they assumed that I knew how to speak the entire Swedish language, you know. And I says, no, no. I kept having to say, I'm just learning, you know. It only sounds like I know how to speak like fluent Swedish, and I mean, Swedish people, they were very kind, very gracious.
You're
And
sweet.
yeah, and most of the time, I mean, they were very kind, very polite, and they would speak English to you before they would say anything in Swedish. But it seems like that's almost like their second language, like English. Probably, you know, getting so many English-speaking tourists. So I always like to learn the language of where I'm going, just like out of respect for them, not, you know, assuming that everybody knows how to speak English or speak English fluently. So, yeah,
Although when we were in Italy, almost everyone that we bumped into spoke a bit of English, and in Spain too. Like he managed. I mean, for me, it wasn't an issue, obviously, but he was able to get by. Everybody spoke English.
yeah,
Yeah, you understand.
yeah, yeah. I know it's sort of an eye opener that, you know, going to a foreign country, they know how to speak, you know, your language, and then
Which, yeah,
yeah, but it's not the other way around. And it's like, it almost makes me feel guilty that I don't know more words how to speak their language, because
yeah,
it seems like, you know, they've bent over backwards to learn English, whether, you know, because of their interest in the language, or like I was saying, you know, the influx of tourists, majority may be English or whatever. And so they have to kind of adjust that way. So, yeah,
yeah,
so it's kind of an extra incentive to learn how to speak another language, you know,
yeah.
whatever country you're traveling to. So yeah, so you know, I mean, I've really enjoyed talking to the both of you today. I really look forward to this. Maybe more so since I know you in person first, two different times, first in Skip Town last year and then Barcelona this year. And
And
like I said, it feels strange talking to you with
aren't,
this glass in between us. So,
aren't you going to be in New York?
what's that?
Are you going to New York for the North?
Plan to, yeah, for the North
North.
Film Festival in
We're
New
going
York.
to be there.
Well, then we'll see you there.
Okay, well, it's
Awesome.
And
a
then
it,
we have one more festival. We're doing the North Film Festival, and then we're going to Beverly Hills. It's called the Marilyn Monroe Film Festival, and it's going to be at the Saban Theater, where they showed How to Marry a Millionaire 70 years ago.
oh
And
wow.
they
Oh
selected
wow.
our film. We're going to be up on the big screen there, and we're going to go. It's going to be a one-day festival. I think there's only a certain amount of films that were selected.
Okay, okay.
We're going to go, the two of us. That's going to be our final, because Scarpicciamente has found distribution out of Hollywood.
Oh wow, congratulations.
Release now on platforms.
Yeah.
In
And starting
end of
in
December
January
or in January.
Yeah.
So we have completed our mission.
Yeah, we just signed the contract like last week, and so we got it.
Wow.
Ready to go. It's ready to go. So we're gonna move on to something else. I wish I could keep going on festivals. Actually, they wanted to distribute it back in August, and I said no. I want to finish my festival circuit. This is the best I'm enjoying. After this, I'm going to get the IMDb people saying if they like it, didn't like it. I'm not going to see people in person, and I really enjoy seeing people in person.
Right, right.
Even if they hate it, even if they look at me and turn and walk that way, then I know they didn't like it.
Yeah.
I can tell. Just to let you, I can tell by one look in your eyes if you like the film. So that's what we're going to see in New York.
Yeah, so that festival that you're talking about, Marilyn Monroe. Now, what are the days? Well, you said that was a one day
December
event.
29th.
December 29th.
December 29th.
Oh, okay. Oh,
We're
yeah,
supposed to
because
be
I
the
was just
one-
wondering, you know, when it was in relation to New York. Okay, December 29th.
It's the
Okay.
final one. It's the
Okay.
final one
Okay. Okay.
I mean, I wanted to go to Sweden.
And you know, everybody here has heard it first, I guess, that Scarpetta Cemente has found distribution, right? Have you announced it before?
Nope,
No,
nope.
no.
It's the first
Hey,
time.
we got we got the world premiere. This is another first for Edward S. Redcard's Entertainer Chat. We got the first word on the announcement of distribution for Scarpetta Semente award-winning film, Best Actor, Best Actress, and it doesn't get any better than this. A very first that this is the first time that you've announced it anywhere. So, so
Don't pinch me.
everybody
I don't
out.
want to wake up, Journey.
Yeah.
It's remarkable. I remember when my editor was working on this, he goes, you did a great job. I said, you know what, JD, I don't care. After this, I don't care if I do anything else. I just want to do this. The business is tough. The business is hard. There's a lot of red tape everywhere, and I don't really care. And he goes, I don't think so. You're going to be working a lot. And to be honest with you, we've had offers. I've had offers all the way to Oklahoma. Offers to do other films, offers to direct films. We've had everything. We're just going to go slow because I'm 60 years old now. And I wish this happened 30 years ago. The biggest mission I have is to see my two children grow, get married, have kids, or see them succeed in life, whether they have kids, married. That's my biggest. That's the only. If you see me at a festival, no matter what's going on, and you see me thinking, I'm thinking about my kids. The only time I step away, that's my job. I chose to be a father, to be a parent. That's my job. That's the most important thing. It's better than an award. I'm sorry, sorry everybody. It's better than an award, better than anything, better than $1 million.
Oh yeah.
Kids grow up happy.
And you two have very nice children because I met them and so many people at the festival in Barcelona met them, and your son's a very nice young man, and your daughter's a very nice young lady, and they talked with those of us like in the group, and it's like they're so cordial and friendly and knowledgeable, and just like their parents, they were a pleasure to get to know and to
and they loved you guys. They loved you guys.
Yeah. Oh, I know it. I know it. I know. It's like, they talked with the group of us, without end, and yeah, it's, I can tell that there's nothing but great things that lay ahead for each one of them. So
I hope they can carry on.
So you two did a very good job in raising your kids.
But tell me something, Edward. Do I call you Ed? I call you Edward all the time. Do you like Ed better? Mr. Ed?
If you want to call me Ed, sure, go ahead. Sure.
Edward is your name.
Yeah, Edward's my name. If you want to call me Ed, sure.
I was gonna say something and I forgot right now. I can't remember what it was. I played on your name. It was nice. But
well, Darwin and a lot of them at the film festival, they refer to me as Mr. E. So if that's something else you'd want to use, Mr. E, go right ahead.
Or my man. I hear my man all the time. Darwin calls you my man.
Yeah, my man.
He loves you. Darwin loves you.
That's right. Darwin, yeah. Great bunch. Yeah, great bunch. So
you guys traveled. I mean, you went to Cannes. I was supposed to come with you guys in Olga, but I was already in Oklahoma for another big film festival.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
I can never say no to somebody. Even if I don't have the money, I'll go to the bank and get the money to go because I already gave my word. So we're gonna go to Cannes. We didn't come to Sweden. We couldn't afford it either. I would like because we were nominated for Sweden.
Yeah. Well, one that I would have wanted to go to, but I couldn't, was the actual in-person film festival that both of you went to in Italy, the Robinson Film Festival. I was, let's see, that was what, sort of like at the end or middle of April, wasn't it this
April,
year?
Yeah. Middle of April, I think. Yeah, it was Easter actually, because we were there Easter Sunday.
Okay.
And then the festival was on the Monday or Tuesday or something, but we landed, and when we got to Naples, there was the church bells and everything was closed, and it was gorgeous sessions, and yeah.
I remember we got to, we had dinner, we got together a whole bunch of filmmakers. We had dinner at Gianluca's.
Yes, I see. I seen the post photo for that. That looked like a great gathering there. Yeah. yeah.
I met Alessandro from Darwin's film, and then
The
I
composer.
met no Alessandro also.
Oh, and the actor.
The actor from
Lovely to meet you.
Lovely to Meet You, which I
Oh,
love that film. I love the
probably
twist of that film.
Alessandro Fiorucci.
Yeah. He was
Yeah,
there
yeah,
too.
yeah.
We had a good
Awful
time.
nice fellow. Yeah,
We
yeah.
had a good time, and the
Yeah.
people were there
Well,
so
the
lovely.
the only reason that I couldn't make that is because I was involved in the Sunscreen Festival down in St.
That's
Pete,
right. I
Florida.
remember. I remember.
So that there was kind of a conflict there. But I did screen for that Robinson Film Festival, but it was like online. I think I submitted like a short or something like that. But
Okay.
it was on the in the online category, and I got award for my film there. But
Oh, cool.
Oh,
Good.
congratulations.
Good.
thank
Good.
you.
That's a great
So
festival.
yeah, so
That's another great festival director, Darwin, Vincenzo, Danny Mill, and I gotta plug in also Stampapokis from the Greek Toronto Film Festival. What he did, he spoiled the talent, the filmmakers. We got there was like expensive food, free drinks, because he got sponsors. He had sponsors.
okay,
And
okay.
5-star restaurants and just getting like just food after food and drink. And like every time I turned around, somebody was filling my wine glass. And like
And it was
Oh.
it was amazing.
It was high-tech people, and you got to meet a lot of people. Like there was one company there that gets you money for your films. What do you need? 15, 20
Yeah.
million? So we met these people also there. A lot of, and what was the great thing about there that most of the fans were fans. They weren't filmmakers.
Yeah, that's what I said. I had said it was like one of the few festivals where they was actually paying, like they really pushed the community.
We have,
You need to come out, you need to
they
support
supported,
filmmakers.
and they showed
And
up
so 3/4 of the audience, and like the audience is usually there was
filmmakers, most of the filmmakers.
in most of the films there was not less than 50 people in the house, and they were all paying customers.
In ours, we had a lot of people, but apparently that day there was somebody that bought 30 tickets, but there was a death in the family, so they didn't come. Another guy bought 40 tickets, and he showed up, and 37 of them got because they were pre-sold the tickets, got lost because the Blue Jays game. There was a Blue Jays.
That's right.
We
Yeah,
lost some
yeah.
people too, but it didn't matter because the people that were there, I think we had a big crowd. They were laughing. They were laughing. They were involved in the film. It made us very happy. And I think we're taking out. You're gonna go for Gone with the Wind time on this.
Yeah.
People are gonna shut us off. They say, "What's up, come on?"
No, I was going to say it's a good thing that you had all those paying customers, so it's a lot better than only having just the filmmakers that go to the event at least.
Yeah, but it was for the festival, which is amazing.
But I like the filmmakers. The filmmakers are, like we really support each other. It's good.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
We all have the same mistakes and the same hardships. And it's good to hear because hopefully one day I hope for everybody in this business trying. I hope they succeed to where they want to succeed.
Oh yeah.
If you ask me where I want to go, I'm happy right here, right now. I'm happy. Can I go further?
Yeah.
Maybe to do another film.
Yeah, I mean, everything that each of us do, the reason we do it is because we love it and we enjoyed it, and that's why we fell in love with it in the first place years ago, or however young or old we are. And I guess
you got to give me your word that if you do get your own TV show at ABC or CBS, and you're sitting there, you're doing a Johnny Carson bit, that you invite us someday, even for 5 minutes. I'll even say
only five. You only want 5 minutes. I can give you.
You're lucky I'm giving you a chance to talk because I'm just like Robin Williams. I can steal the whole thing. I can voice it. And what do you mean by funny? I can get into a whole thing.
Well, yeah. You're making my job easier than you're making my job easier than I thank you for that. Yeah.
Well, we did one on the fly that was just fantastic. And when you asked us, I was going to ask you, I'm going to say, I'd love to do one. I know I'm not a model, I know she's beautiful, but I like to do one because I think you're very interesting. You ask great things and you don't just ask us questions to talk about it. You relate. And I love that you relate. And that's now I know why you're nominated and why you win awards. And
thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
You relate with us. We're one talent, everybody.
Yeah. I mean, I like people. I like to talk to them. Like I said when we first started, I like to know the complete picture, who you are, not only the performing that everybody sees, but your own life away from performing, your likes, what you like to do, yeah.
If you ever come over to my house, you're gonna to eat a good meal.
Oh well, I'll make
send
sure.
Olga out.
I'll
We'll eat
make
together.
I'll make sure that I fast for about a week so that I can be good and empty and
You'd
so
have to do that. You have to do that.
Yeah, he doesn't.
I'll have to do that. I'll have to write it on the calendar and say, okay, such and such a date, I'm going to John and Olga's house. Okay, a week before that, start the fast. So I'll make that on my calendar and I'll put notification.
How far are you?
What's that?
How far are you? Where do you live? In New York, no? In upstate New York.
Yeah, I live halfway between Albany and Syracuse.
So you're not far from us at all. You're like
No,
2.5 hours.
no, not at all. No.
It's
So
5 hours. But if you're ever around, just drop by. Give me a heads up. Something.
okay.
So I'll let you hang out with Achilles. You can have a glass of scotch together.
Oh boy, that's
You like scotch? Like scotch?
that sounds good. Well, I like I like anything, food or drink. I like anything. So yeah.
I'm a great mimer of scotch. I take it. That's as far as I go, because I'll try never to drink again in my life. I can't handle drinking.
Oh, okay. But no,
But I can handle. I'm talking to good people.
yeah. Well, thanks for the invitation. The invitation goes the same with me. If you're ever heading down this way and happen to pass through Central New York, give me a holler, give me a jingle, and we can do something down here.
Don't tell me that. I've done it to Hollywood people. If you're ever in Hollywood, come on over. 2 o'clock in the morning. Hey, David, I'm here. Airport. You said if I'm ever give you a call, you can bring me over. You have my time. I will go straight to his house. The guy's trying to make me a place to sleep, and he puts me up in an apartment because I'm that type of guy. I believe you. I believe you.
Yeah.
Just
well, I mean, there's like late dinners and early breakfasts, right? That's not totally uncommon, I mean.
know each other.
The food's there. You can eat anytime.
Your Mickey Mouse slippers, it wouldn't bother me. You can see me with my furry boots. I wear fur boots in the house because my floor is cold. And everybody sees me and they laugh at me.
Yeah.
I'm wearing my pants. I'm walking outside with this furry boots.
It gets cold in Montreal in the winter.
Oh
and
yeah.
I have a sciatica problem right where the cold reaches my back, and then.
Oh yeah. Well, like they say, whatever makes you feel comfortable. I mean, like they say, it's your house, it's your kingdom. You can dress. You can dress any way the way you want. It's like.
Well, just one quick funny story. Our son, when he was like 10, he used to get bullied a lot and picked on because he was small for his age. And no, he was 7. And he had to get a new pair of boots. And he has wide feet, and so we couldn't find a pair of boots that was comfortable for him. But his sister's boots that she outgrew, his older sister, which were black with purple fur and purple sparklies, fit him perfectly. And he's like, these are so comfortable. And I said, he goes, I'm going to wear these. He goes, you don't need to get me boots. I'll wear these. I'm like, but you get picked on all the time because you're small. Like going to school with those boots is going to get even worse. He goes, what do I care? He goes, I'm going to be the one with the warm feet. They can say whatever they want.
But the funny thing, then he took karate. He got 2 different blue belts, 2 different forms of karate, and nobody bothered him. So he wasn't getting picked on.
Yeah.
There you go.
I was 17.
Not allowed to fight.
There you go.
Just took him down and he's like, okay, so what are you going to do?
He's not allowed to ever fight.
But I was glad that he did that with the boots, and he wore his black and purple furry boots.
My daughter went around saying she was a lion for so many years. She got her own character.
Yeah, but it's all about confidence. Just like with acting, everything is confidence.
That's right. That's right.
What you look like, what you sound like, what you're doing, as long as you're confident about it.
We're running out of time.
Right.
Yeah.
As long,
Be a 4-hour interview.
as long as you're confident and you like what you do, you don't have anything to worry about. It doesn't matter what anybody else has to say. So yeah. So, well, like I said, I've really enjoyed talking with the both of you today, and wish nothing more than the success in your careers. And like I said, it was the first that you made the announcement that you're being distributed for Scarpetta Semente. So that's
Our first film. This is our first film ever. We've never
there
made
you
a film
go.
before, so
And
it's very, very exciting.
yeah, and that's an even bigger feather in your cap, and sort of a feather in my cap too, because it's your first film and being announced for the
Thank you
first
so
time.
much for listening to our stories and having us on.
And we'll see you in New York. I'm sure you're
gonna definitely.
get together with you with the whole bunch of people.
Yeah.
Darwin's going to be there too, and
Oh yeah, everybody's going to be there.
Festival, right? I think that's the North. So we're all going to get together. I don't know if Marissa and them come down. No, that's
yeah. I don't know who else is going to be there besides.
We're gonna have fun,
and we're gonna meet new people, and it's
that's
gonna be
right.
Wonderful.
That's right, and our circle will grow bigger. Our circle will grow bigger there. So, yeah. Again,
I can't believe you had us on. Thank you so much. It's so nice.
Yeah. So nice. Yes. Yeah. It's really been a ball and a pleasure talking with both of you, and so I'll say to all of you out there in Zoom and YouTube land, my name is Edward S. Redcar, the host of Edward S. Redcar's Entertainer Chat, and we've been speaking with John Vamvas and Olga Montes of Scarpetta Semente fame now, and so take a look at my YouTube channel, like and comment on this talk show segment when I upload it to my YouTube channel. Like and comment on all my other film interviews that I've done. And until the next time, have a good day. So long, and we'll see you soon.
Bye. Thank you.